Hello everybody. Today we are going to transplant our new Jan Boyce avocado into a bigger container, removing this old wood chip soil and adding a good, well-draining, mineral-based soil. So let's get right back to that. I'll show you what we're going to do. First off here, I'm going with a little bigger pot than it came in. This is what I had one of my reeds in that I now put in the ground. What I do here, I put volcanic rock, I don't know if you can see that, I guess you can, over the holes. That way it holds in the dirt, and then I get good drainage with water coming out of there. And we'll just fill that in with some soil we got here. This is the top pot soil that I use. You can see that it's got a lot of pumice, sand, peat moss, perlite, and charcoal in it. See what it comes with. Really good product. All my avocados do really well in it. And so what I'll do here is just lightly cover up these rocks here. Then I'm going to water that in a little, get it tight down there, and we'll take this pot, dip it in the water here, get all this old wood chippy soil off. And you can tell when your soil is bad on an avocado tree or something like this, when you can pick the pot up with one hand. I mean, there's a lot of wood chip and not a lot of sand and mineral in this pot. So one quick rule I always use when I'm looking for avocados at nurseries is, how heavy is the pot? Do we have a really dense soil in there? Do we have like this wood chippy stuff that is just not soil? It's not soil, it's wood chips. Soil is minerals, sand, things like that. But let me show you how we're going to do this, and we'll get started. So what I've done is filled it up about a quarter of the way with soil, watered it in so that bottom section is nice and wet. And now what we're going to do is take the tree out of this, put it into the water here in the bucket. Let me show you how we do that right now. As you can see, I've taken the Jan Boyce out of the bucket it came in, dipped it in here, and you can just see all this floating wood chip mulchy stuff in here. That's really not something you want to grow in. So what I'm going to do, and it's hard to see here, is get my fingers in here, massage loose as much of this soil as I can. Not getting super aggressive with my hands up into the plant. We'll just let it come off as it may. Then we'll put it into this bucket after we clean it up a little into that one. So hang on. And this is what I use to filter the water from our tap water to get the chlorine and a bunch of other sediment deals that could come in the water and possibly harm, if not harm, add some chemicals to the plants that I don't want. Just a basic RV filter. You can get these online or at Walmart or anywhere like that. Screwed into the hose. Put your hose on that end. Gives you a nice chlorine-free, sediment-free kind of water. Just something, little thing I use also when I'm out watering the plants, you know, trying to get these things as healthy as I can. Sorry about the cut ins and outs, but this is not easy to do one-handed. But here's the tree itself. A lot of the roots are out. It's got a big root ball at the bottom, which you can't see here. You can see it there, that was in the bottom of the pot. So it's going to be impossible to get everything off here. So what I'm going to do is leave what's on here now and then put it into the pot and start filling it in with soil. Okay, I wanted to show you about the halfway point here. I've put soil behind it to sort of hold it in place. But that's the roots and how we have them. I've spread the roots that were root bound in the bottom of the container. I've spread them around the upper part of the first batch of soil I put in there. Then I'm going to backfill it with some of the Gary's top pot that I use. And then The top third will amend a little more because when you water these things, everything sort of goes down through the soil, and so if you amend the bottom, put all your worm castings and fertilizer in the very bottom of this, a lot of times it leaches out. I like to put it in the top and let it work its way down. So let's fill this in and I'll show you where we're at. Okay, we're about at the 3/4 mark. What I've done to the top pot soil is add some Dr. Earth Life with all the good microorganisms in there, some worm castings along with the top pot. What we're going to do is mix all that up so we get a nice mixture here, and that's what we're going to put on the top third. Then that will work its way down with every watering. So as you can see, I filled up the pot with the soil mixture. Our tree has been sitting in that water before we put that in there. And what we're going to do now is just bang the sides of this, get this to settle. It's hard to do this one-handed holding the phone, I know. You see we're well below where it was already. We can add more soil to this, but when I water it, it will settle down, and we can add more soil, and I'll show you what that's like here in a moment. And you can see after watering it, it's dropped down about 1 inch or so. It's exposed the seed that the rootstock was grown in the roots. So what I'll do is I'll add some more, water it in, and what we do is we just keep tapping it, and this settles around the roots down there. You know, with the water, it pushes all the soil down into the roots there, air bubbles out. Let's see if I got a little more water in here. I can show you how the air bubbles out when we tap it. And then the water just sort of fills up, the water and the soil go into those little empty spots. So I'll come back, finish this up, and show you what we got on our Jan Boyce. Hard to find these things. They've always said they're the best tasting. I've never been able to find one. A friend of mine from the Southern California Backyard Avocado Growers Facebook page found it and was nice enough to offer it up to me. So let me finish this up and I'll show you where we're at. So here we're back with the soil filled back up, and what we're going to do is water this in. Like I showed you earlier, I use a RV water filter that gets all the chlorine and particulates out of the water, and I water my plants with these. You can see as this settles, the soil will drop down again. There again is the seed from the rootstock showing up again. And what I'm going to do is I'll drench this thing. I will flood it, get this thing saturated, and then I let it sit in. You can see the air bubbles coming out. I let this thing sit in very early morning sun and most of the day shade for the next couple of weeks, and ease it back into the sunlight, into full sun. So there we are. We got that watered in. I'll show you the one I did the other day on a Hass avocado, and what that looks like. This is the Hass avocado that we did the other day. Same way. We took out the old soil, put in new. This is about a month ago, and you can see the little leaf at the top and the new buds finally coming out that is taken. It had its issues when we did switch it in the soil. We had a little bit, these were green, they turned a little brown, but you can see all the budding that we now have coming out of this. And it is in full sun now, and it's been a month, almost a month to the day. So changing the soil can be scary. Some people think it's scary. It's not. I've got gardenias, roses, many other plants that we've done this to when I don't like the soil they come in. But you can see the budding, what we're getting on here, that it is taken to the new soil and it is growing. And that's the Hass avocado we did about a month ago. Same way that I showed you on the Jan Boyce that we just did. Please like if you like the video. Share it if you think it's good information, and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. I would be very happy to bring them to you. I do a lot of avocado videos and some citrus and mango videos, but mainly avocado. And hopefully we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again. Have a good day.